Welcome back to my channel. As always, I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. And on this episode of Truckin' It, in the icy cold confines of my tractor trailer bunk, I'm going to be discussing some life hacks that you can do to help handle the cold. So whether it's 40 degrees outside and you think you're freezing your balls off, or it's 0 degrees outside and you're really freezing, these tips can help you stay warm and stay safe. So, stay tuned. So you're out in cold weather, and you need to figure out what's going on. First life hack is on these newer trucks. They have a built-in thermometer right on the dash display that tells you what the temperature is at the air intake. Now, this is not a substitute for an accurate forecast with accurate conditions, but it can help you gauge whether or not you're going to need that jacket when you step outside the truck. Now, as for the jacket itself, it needs to be lightweight, it needs to be flexible, and it needs to be well insulated. A biker jacket or a cowboy jacket of some kind is almost ideal for this purpose, whereas those puffy Weather Channel style jackets you see on TV might or might not be useless in this situation, because you're going to be out there and you're going to be dealing with landing gear cranks that are frozen. You're going to be dealing with stuff that requires you to be more flexible. And when it's cold out there, well, you're going to have at least a few issues, especially when it's windy, by the way. And the more you hinder yourself, the more you slow yourself down, and the more you expose yourself to the elements. A better idea is to pair that lightweight jacket with layers of clothing underneath. So pajama pants, lightweight t-shirts like what I have on, perhaps those gym shirts nowadays that have the wicking material. Those will all help you be more maneuverable and help you handle the cold better. Another life hack I'm aware of is to carry extra water on board the truck. Now, this is not for the truck itself. This is for you specifically, because cold air is often dry, and you dehydrate faster when you are cold. It is that simple. So having plenty of fluids and having maybe some drink mixes to go with will ultimately help you in the end. You can also use that water for coffee, and you can reuse the jugs in an emergency as a disposable urinal, which you will then properly empty out and toss into file 13. Do not toss these alongside the road. Well, another idea for handling cold weather is, let's say you're in that situation where you got to go really bad and your rest area or truck stop only has an outhouse or a porta potty for a restroom. Now, for us guys, we have an advantage. For women, you don't, unfortunately. And sitting down on a cold toilet seat is not that very good on the parts down there. So, ideally, what you want to do is to either get some sort of in-vehicle means to go to the bathroom, or if you absolutely have to use the outhouse or porta potty, just try to be aware that it is going to be colder out there, and that acclimation to the cold can be your best friend. What about and this will also hopefully help you avoid frostbite, especially if the person ahead of you didn't have the courtesy to clean the seat while it was warm. What do you do if there is an emergency on board your truck and you need to stay warm? Well, if you're already dressed in the layers, it's going to be a non-issue. And the bigger issue that I see when dealing with cold weather is when you're standing out at the fuel island for 20 minutes with no heat source, waiting on the slow fuel pump to fill your tanks up. And that definitely calls for dressing in layers and being acclimated, both. Now, let's say it's snowing a little bit or it's getting a little bit wet out there. Well, one of those layers, preferably the jacket, needs to be water resistant. And that's easier done than said, because most jackets nowadays do have that feature built in. Another thing to consider if you're going to be out in the cold, no matter how well prepared you are, there is the chance that your truck could break down. And in cold weather, you're also not going to be as comfortable in the sleeper, because maybe the sleeper heater can't keep up. Two things will help you here: a mattress pad and a sleeping bag. Sleeping bags are rated down to 40 degrees and have kept me warm even in the coldest conditions. It's outside. And a mattress pad only helps, especially if your truck has one of those cheap paper-thin roll-in-the-bag mattresses, like what's underneath my particular mattress pad in here. This also helps absorb shock when you're a team driver like me, and your co-driver's going down the road and hitting every single little pothole that he cannot avoid because the state DOT fails to maintain the roads, or because the weather's caused the pavement to crack or whatever. So, hopefully, you will be able to stay warm with these little tricks. And if you have any more, leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, let's make your best trip your next trip. Bye for now. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the thumbs up and the notification bell. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you down the road.